All right. Week 5, 2024. Let's get into it. Straight off the dome, boys. Surprise podcast. Nothing prepped. Just winging it. Obviously, I spent entirely too long on that newsletter this week and wasn't able to record. But I did want to get a pick on the record because we do have a rivalry week. I took SEMA last week. It was Hurricane trying to prop his team up for undefeated Mike. It did not work out. SEMA got me a loss. But I am going to preview his game again because it is Hurricane Week 2. So we're going to give the weatherman his props again. He takes on his buddy TJ. We're just going to dive right into it. We've got TJ with Matt Stafford and Josh Allen. While Josh Allen is always great, he has 0 carries inside the 5-yard line this year. And he's just been in some weird game scripts. I mean, he's played one normal game all year. The Jags game, the Miami game, and then Baltimore last week only got 9 points. It's just been a weird game script year for the Bills. I really don't know what to make of Allen. I mean, he's not carrying the ball inside. He's not really thrown for a ton of yards, yet he's still scoring. So I'm not really sure what to make of it here. I mean, he hasn't thrown for over 260 yards. He's thrown under 200 twice. Yeah, I mean, we'll see where this goes. I mean, I guess you can always count on him for 25, and Houston is giving up the 7th most points to quarterbacks, but they're a top 4 passing defense. So I really think the running game gets going here for Buffalo. So I'd say count on him for 25, but it is not going to surprise me if he comes out with less this week. Matt Stafford, on the other hand, I mean, who's he throwing to out there? It's terrible. I don't know. I guess 17, 18 points. However, I do think it's going to be a shootout with Green Bay. So maybe it gets live. Tutu Atwell, I guess. Jordan Whittington. I'm not really sure what to do with the Rams offense just because of the depleted weapons. But Stafford's looked good. I mean, he was 20-29 last week. He just didn't throw any touchdowns. So I kind of think it's going to go the same way. The only thing that gives me pause is on the other side. We've got Thunder with Jordan Love. So 2 quarterbacks playing each other. Love is back. Threw for 4 touchdowns last week, 389 yards. The Rams defense is bad. So I think they're going to score a lot of points, but I'm just not sure if Stafford's going to be able to keep up with no weapons. So Love is definitely, of the 4 quarterbacks, I think going to have the best week. Superflex for Thunder is Andy Dalton. Now, look, Andy Dalton had a great week last week. I mean, we cannot talk any smack about him, but he does get Chicago this week. Chicago's defense, while their offense is sputtering, their defense has been pretty solid. They do give up some passing yards. They don't give up passing yards. They do give up some in the running game, but overall pretty good. I don't know. Stafford and Dalton probably wash each other out, and I'll give Love the edge over Allen this week. So I'm going to go with Thunder 0-4, getting the edge so far in this matchup. Moving on to the wide receivers, and yikes. All right, look. You got Nico, Leggett, and Shakir on TJ's side. So just, all right, man. He's got the stack with Shakir going against Houston. Should be great. Shakir's out, and on TJ's bench is literally no wide receiver. So he's going to be starting a waiver wire person or nobody. So going in weak here, I mean, of course, Nico's great. He'll score you 15 to 20 pretty much every week. And going against Buffalo's defense, while technically they are good against the pass, I really think that's only because of the game scripts that they've been in. I actually think Nico gets in a pretty good week. Leggett versus Chicago. I mean, I realize he had one good game with Andy Dalton. I don't think he does much at all against Chicago. And then waiver wire guy that might get plugged in. I don't know. We'll call it 8-9 points, something like that. On the other side, I mean, Thunder, this is where you should have an advantage. But man, your receivers are so rough. Brandon Ayuk is just, he got paid and it's like he forgot how to play football. I mean, he's going against Arizona. That should be good. Purdy in real life has been playing well, but Ayuk's just not benefiting. I don't know. I mean, he hasn't broken 10 points yet this year. I don't know why that would start now. I would hope if I were simma that Arizona can put up some points. The Niners defense has not been the Niners defense of old. Well, not bad. They're not the top 5 unit that they were. So maybe Arizona and Kyler Murray can get going, and it becomes a shootout. But I don't know. I don't have my hopes up for Ayuk at all this year. Surprise, a guy who misses training camp doesn't perform early. All right, moving on. Tank Dell is his next receiver. Look, it's 3 receivers. 2 of them will probably have a good week every week, and one's going to get left out. I'll bet on Nico every week, so it's going to be Tank or Diggs. Diggs is in the revenge game against Buffalo, and he's playing mostly in the slot. I'm taking Diggs this week. I don't think Tank Dell gets much going, but this is where if you're Thunder, you got to hope that you make up some space. And then Whittington, I don't know who Whittington is. I don't know where he played college. I don't know anything about him other than the fact that he has been picked off this scrap heap to start for the Pack. I'm sorry, for the Rams versus the Pack. I don't know. I give them 8 points. I just, don't have a lot of high hopes here. So I guess I'm giving the edge to Nico. just Nico. These are 2 pretty bad receiver cores. I do not expect much out of these groups. So TJ, I guess you get the edge. Even two receivers versus 3, and I think I'm still giving you the edge. Moving on to running backs, we have got King Henry and Tyler Algier on TJ's side. He is just not having a good week. He's got a lot of people injured on the bench. AJ Brown, Will Levis, Rashee Rice. So he is deficient here right now. Derrick Henry gets Cincinnati. Man, he has looked really good, but Baltimore has been up in every game. So I have a stat, man. I don't have it in front of me. I was hoping to use it this week, but I think of 100, if I remember correctly, of 104 offensive plays, Baltimore has led 100 of them. That's Derrick Henry territory. Now this week they get Cincinnati. Burrow is a Raven killer. I mean, he blows up against Baltimore every time he plays them. So while I, of course, expect good things from Henry, it is not going to surprise me if Cincinnati gets up on a kind of subpar Ravens defense this year. I have a sneaky good feeling that Cincinnati wins this game, and that might mean it's a Justice Hill week. So, yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. I'm curious to see. This Baltimore team is just interesting. It's an interesting story to watch. Tyler Algier, I guess technically he's already played, so I know how it turns out, but I didn't expect him to do anything. Rumors around Bijan not being great or whatever. I don't buy it. Bijan's great. They're just not utilizing him. If they want to utilize him, they will. I would have expected basically what he got. He only got about 5 points. I might have guessed 6 or 7. So that's about what I thought I would have had. On the other side, you've got Bijan. Bijan only scored 10. I would have predicted him for more. But he's also, Thunder also has Jordan Mason. And, it's the San Francisco offense, like I wrote in my newsletter. It doesn't matter who you plug in. Shanny's fantastic. Just throw any schlub in there at running back and they'll be pretty solid. And Jordan Mason is just proving that again. The guy has had 22, 17, 10, and 24 points. So 147. He's had 100 yards 3 or 4 weeks, and then 1 week he missed. He had 77. That's just incredible. So definite edge. Whether I knew the outcome or not, a huge edge going to Thunder at the running back position. Moving on to the flex, we've got Zach Charbonnet for TJ. Kenneth Walker obviously looks great. The Giants defense, the Giants are better than I expected them to be all the way around. I expected like the worst team in the league type of thing from them. So I think I am still underestimating them. Their defense on paper is better than I thought it was. They're middle of the pack. I don't know. I just don't trust them. I don't trust Daniel Jones. I don't trust the Giants. But so far, so good. However, Charbonnet, I just don't know how much he's going to touch the ball. On the other side, though, you got Jacoby Myers for Thunder. Yeah, Jacoby Myers has had a couple good weeks. Devontae Adams is out with a hamstring. So he did have, a 20-point week a couple weeks ago, 10 points last week. He got 10 targets, didn't do too much with them, 5 for 50. But he gets Denver this week, and Surtain, I don't know. I guess he's the number one receiver, and if Surtain shadows him, I don't know. I don't expect much at all. I mean, Yahoo's got him projected at 13 points. I don't think he gets there. I'll give Thunder the edge only because it's a PPR league, and I don't know how much Charbonnet is going to grab the ball. So I'll give him the edge, but not a great position group for these two. All right, looking at the tight ends, man, guys, this is a tough matchup. Look at the tight end. We've got Cade Otton at tight end for TJ. I guess Baker's cooking, so why not take a shot on Cade Otton? Dallas Goedert is on bye, so I get it. Had to pull someone off the waiver wire. He did come out with 7 points. That's probably about what I would have projected him at. Maybe even a couple less. And then you got on the other side, Juwan Johnson, tight end for the Saints. An odd, obviously, year so far for Derek Carr. He started hot and cold the past 2 weeks, but Kamara looks great. And I think that the game plan against Kansas City is going to be passing the ball. They are actually the worst at defending tight ends in the league. They give up the most points. So, I think they're going to have to. I think they're going to have to pass in this game. I don't know how. Let me look real quick. Has Kansas City's run defense been that good this year? Yeah, they've been pretty solid. I'll take Juwan Johnson over 7. Man, tight end is a wasteland this year. He'll get 8 points and he'll be a top 10 tight end this week. So I'll give the edge over to TJ. Last position group, we're just going to kind of sneak a peek at these kickers and defenses. Let's see. So on TJ's side, we've got the San Francisco kicker. That could be pretty good going against Arizona. I expect that they light up Arizona. The question will be if Arizona can keep up. But even if they don't, that's a pretty good start. And then Minnesota against the Jets. I'm telling you, I am so out on the Jets right now. I don't care what they are on paper. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is basically yelling at his coach. Like, he's just not listening to him, and that's just dysfunction, and that generally doesn't end well. So I think Minnesota might get loose on defense. Looking at Simma's side, he's got the Cincinnati kicker against Baltimore. I mean, I love that. Like I said, I think Cincinnati gets going. So, yeah, Moody and him are probably a wash. And you got New England versus Miami. With Huntley, I gotta think New England has a pretty good week too. Man, you guys are close this week. I don't know. I'm gonna give the edge to Simma. He is 0-4. I'm pumping you up, buddy. It's Hurricane Week. I know you're busy, but I'm giving you the win 2 weeks in a row. Don't let me down 2 weeks in a row. I think you can get it. Jordan Love looks great. I think you've got this in the bag. Go out and get your first win. You got Devontae Adams, Evan Ingram on your bench, Vlad McConkey, Herbert, Spears. I mean, this is just bye week Armageddon and injury Armageddon for both these teams. But I think Thunder pulls out his first win. That is it for tonight, boys. Surprise pod. Hope you enjoy it. Straight off the dome. Sorry I didn't have too many crazy stats for you, but hope you liked it. Peace out.